Hello there. I'm Gitte Madelair, and this is not a standard leadership channel. I'm here to disrupt how you think about leadership because the old leadership model is broken, and you probably know it already. The title for this episode is Two Global Energy Crises. I'm Gitte Madelair, and I'm also the author of Energetic Leadership, and I'm the creator of the Energetic Leadership model. Energetic leadership being strategic foresight, personal development, and business transformation. So let's get started. Everyone is talking about the energy crisis, but almost no one is talking about the crisis causing it. And today we will talk about both crises. So we will talk about the outer crisis, and we will talk about the inner crisis, and we will talk about what we can do about it. So what is the outer crisis? The outer crisis is really, really loud. So if you haven't noticed, there is a global crisis going on regarding all kinds of energy, whether it's gas, oil, electricity, any kind of energy power, because we all are dependent on energy sources for our way of living, whether we want to keep warm or to keep cold, for our production, for our infrastructure, for our communication, for us sitting here in front of the computer. We need energy. So this is the outer crisis. And right now, it has been going on for 2 months in the Middle East as a war and fights among lots of countries. And this is not new. It's new, yes, we have the Middle East crisis, but we have been fighting for outer energy, natural resources for decades, for hundreds of years. So the outer crisis is very visual. You can see it on the media, it's part of your life, and we can even get scared that it will have huge consequences if it goes on for very long. So what will happen then? The other crisis, the inner crisis, is more quiet. It is also an energy crisis. It is to do with our own energy, that our own energy is not looked after by ourselves. So all humans on planet Earth, we are part of a big magnetic field. So we are all within this magnetic field on planet Earth. All humans are connected. We know that everything is energy, it's energy frequencies. So everything on planet Earth is energy. And we as humans have not been able to look after our own energy. Our own energy needs to be in balance. Our own nervous system needs to be in balance. So we need to be able to both use what I call the masculine power, our masculine energy, that we are productive, that we are doing things, but also that we use our feminine energy, our intuitive power, the ability to be reflective, to use our intuitive power so we both use all our rational power from, it could be data and Excel sheets and what have we, but also that we use our intuitive power, that we are able to use our senses and combine all that in our decision making. And as a business leader or global political leader, you must take a lot of decisions. If you are taking your decision on what I would call one leg, only using half of your decision power, you are not taking a holistic and also then sustainable decision. And we see also when it comes to the inner crisis, we see a lot of red flags. We see people not thriving, both within their workplaces, but also within their own lives. We see people getting more and more sick, stress sick, or also with a lot of autoimmune sickness, illnesses. We see a lot of young people not thriving in schools and the educational system. We have also a huge challenge, all of us, with our technology, with our AI and social media, and being able to adapt to a life with that kind of technology. So we are humans really, really challenged from the outside and also from the inside. So we have a outer crisis, the energy crisis, and the power struggle for the energy on planet Earth. And we also have a huge inner crisis where we are trying not to be fearful in an environment which is becoming much and more stressful, and also more and more fearful in what is going to happen, not just within your own lives, but also between countries. So we have this outer crisis and the inner crisis meeting, and they are both to do with energy in different forms. They look not related, and a lot of people don't talk about it, which is to me really, really interesting. Business leaders, political leaders, they will have geopolitics, they would have AI, they would have supply chain, they would have, of course, also the whole environmental issue. But even the environmental issue, looking after the planet, is further down the top three, further down than the top three. So it is like business leaders and political leaders, I don't know, are they blind or something? Or are they deaf? Can't they hear? Or are they not able to use their senses? Or don't they have any connection to their intuition? Is it like it feels like it, that they come to work and they park their intuition in the reception before going to a meeting, before sitting at the desk or whatever they're doing? So how can we steer businesses, countries, global partnerships, global corporations, global alliances, if we are not in contact with half of our decisioning power. So it is only the inner crisis that can solve the outer crisis. We have created 17 sustainable goals, and this is really good. We have made lots of plans and lots of activities relating to these 17 global goals. And they are again related to ESG, environmental, social, and governance, both goals and reporting and everything. But these 17 goals are all related to outer things. Yes, they also have a little bit about social issues, but it is not as deep as it should be, the social part. I'm sure, yes, it's good that we have birth rates that's much better than it's been ever before on planet Earth. And that we also see and can register how much sick leave we have. But it is like we are not really seeing, accepting, and reacting to the people on planet Earth, within organizations, within societies. They are not thriving. And it's like we also think that in the Western world, we don't have an inner crisis. That is not true. So we are seeing people going into deep work within themselves all over the planet, all over the globe. Because we are also realizing that maybe all the material growth and our life and our eager to get things and prosperity, that it does not always buy us happiness or meaning. So this episode is really to sort of pinpoint how these two crises are interrelated, but that it is only the inner crisis that is the cause of it, whereas the outer crisis is more like a symbol. If and when, because I truly believe we are able to solve our inner crisis, then I'm also a big believer of that we will see much fewer global sort of outer crises. We have a huge power as an individual and also as an organization with a lot of individuals, where we are, if we are able to sort of maintain our frequency and make it even higher. And we do that by calming our nervous system, and there's many ways we can do that. It is by respecting that each of us on planet Earth have our own path, our own, you could say, way of doing things, and what is creating meaning for each individual person. But that we can come together in groups, in organizations, where we have sort of the same manifest, if you want to use that word, or guidelines, or yeah, a description of what is the purpose of this company, and how are our living rules in this organization. And it's the same thing with a society. In a society which is democratic, we would like trust to be one of the values. We also want respect and law and order. So this is also a way of addressing that we're actually seeing democracies declining if we are looking throughout the world. We are seeing autocracies becoming more visible, and it is not healthy for people. People are healthy when they're free to speak, free to create meaning in life, free to work, yes, because people would like to work, but free also to act within a framework of law and order. So we have two major crises, a very loud one right now, energy crisis, and a much more quiet one, but it is becoming stronger and stronger because people are gaining inner power, because we are becoming more and more aware of our energy. We are becoming energy conscious. We are becoming much more present. And that sort of power from within creates curiosity for the future, understanding the future. And it also creates, when you are a decision maker in a company or in an organization or in a country, it creates, that curiosity creates also an understanding for what skills will be and already is important to master in the future. So what are we going to prioritize in the way that we lead our society and lead our organizations and ourselves, because that's where it all starts. And finally, that leads into how are we brave as decision makers to make decisions, to make action, to act on what is necessary. So the inner crisis is the crisis that can solve the outer crisis, whether it's the energy crisis right now and also the crisis with the climate, which is huge. And we all know it. Nature came here before the humans. So the inner crisis can solve the outer. If this made you think, or if this made you wonder, or maybe even feel something, that is good. Because energy moves when you pay attention to it. That's why we're here. Please hit subscribe if you want to hear the next episode on this channel, Energetic Leadership. And if you want to send the link to a colleague or maybe your manager or another leader, and maybe you want to have a talk with them about what's going on, both outside but also inside, and how you can be able to contribute to solving the crisis we have. You can find my book, you can find ways of working with me and resources on my website. And the website is energeticleadership.eu. Until next time, lead with energy. Thank you.